What is good, Neo family? It's your boy Ray-Jay back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Neo and why I'm extremely bullish for the somewhat near-term and long-term futures. I'm going to be talking about what the mainstream media has been reporting that is causing the overall market to be in the red right now. I'm also going to be talking about what are the latest news and updates for Neo. They did report their deliveries, and I'm going to talk about that in this video. But before I do get started and talk about that and Neo's latest Twitter posts, I do have to mention a couple of things. First off, I'm not a financial legal or taxation expert, so don't take this as financial legal or taxation advice. Everything in this video is solely for entertainment purposes only. And also, if you guys can, please smash that like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Neo community as a whole. The last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link in the description. If you guys do sign up for Moomoo, you're going to get up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Neo, it's down about 2.1%, which is not actually bad, because if you look at Tesla, it's down about 4.35%, and many other stocks out there are just absolutely plummeting right now. However, the reason Neo is down is not because of something Neo did. It's actually dropping with the overall market, as the entire stock market is in the red because of the pieces of news that are coming out. So let's just look at the S&P 500 real quick. You can see it's down about 1.11%. Now, why is the entire market in the red? It's because of two pieces of news that are just coming out. One of the main ones is the fact that there is a lot of concern right now over the Omicron variant, and people are kind of spreading fear and uncertainty right now, especially over the fact that there's fear about lockdowns or anything like that. We did just recover from another virus, guys, in 2020, the virus from 2020. We're recovering this year, 2021, and now there are more fears being escalated by the media. Now, my only thing to say, and this is what I want everyone to pay attention to, is that I can't give any advice about this, any medical advice, but I can tell you one thing, and that is no matter what happens, you should not panic. We should always remain calm, cool, and collected, and do not let this piece of news scare you into selling your shares or anything like that. Now, it's up to you to do whatever you want, but do not let panic or fear control you. An intelligent investor is able to overcome that. Now, it's also stated that the yields are flat right now with the Fed's faster tapering plan. However, there are some fears about the fact that they could start to go up as time progresses because of the faster taper. Now, that to me is not necessarily the worst news ever, but it has led to a lot more fear in the market. If you look at the fear and greed index, it used to be extremely good. It went from extreme greed to greed to fear, and now we're at extreme fear right now. So there's a lot of fear and uncertainty about what's going to play out, especially because of the fear of more lockdowns with the spread of this new virus. However, guys, for Neo and how this is going to affect Neo, if we look at what happened to Neo, Neo did begin to run up today, up to about $40.81 a share. This is because people were very excited because of the news that just came out. They absolutely crushed their deliveries from November, but then it started dropping with the overall market dropping to $38.20 a share. Once again, having that support at around 38, and that to me is actually pretty good because Neo did not drop as dramatically as other companies. Now, if we look at this from different perspectives, look at the Bollingers, we can see that we did touch the bottom quite a bit before we did touch the top in the beginning, but we are now touching the bottom quite a bit, and we did have a significant close to the downside, which I just think is not necessarily Neo's fault, because Neo is not the cause of this. This is happening because of the fears and uncertainty over the virus and what the Fed is doing. Now, look at this right over here. We're going to pull up the MACD and some RSI and then show you guys the chart over a longer period of time, and you guys can see right over here, the MACD is still indicating that we could see a little bit more downside, because the thing is, I don't truly know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if the market's going to start recovering. There's going to be a time we start to recover, but right now there's just so much fear and uncertainty that it could cause a little bit of a more of a drop, but we do have supports at around $37.45 a share. So I just want to put it out there. I want you guys to be prepared, especially considering that RSI dropped to $41, 41.1, sorry. And even though the RSI is dropping, that's indicative that Neo could see a little bit more downside after this. Now, I'm not bearish on Neo for the long term. I'm super, super bullish. And if anything, Neo has been doing almost everything right. So do not fall for the fear just like that. Now, if we bring up the 6-month chart and I bring up the EMAs real quick, you guys can see how this thing has been moving. Right now, it went from being above the EMAs to now going a little bit below it. And that's because of the dramatic drop in the overall market. So Neo is actually not supposed to be dropping like this. It was supposed to be more in a bullish trend. And even though we could see a little bit of a drop, remember, I still believe that December 18th, which is going to be Neo Day, is still going to be a major catalyst for Neo, where we could still see some major upside despite the position the market is in. So, with that said and done, guys, before I talk about what I predict is going to happen to Neo for this short term and long term, let's go on with what was reported quite recently by the news. Now, it states right over here, according to Real Money, that shares of Neo are poised to rally again. And it's basically doing some technical analysis about what has been going on. And right now, it is indicative that Neo is gaining higher support at better ranges, and that could cause Neo to start running up. Now, that's just based off technicals, but if we look at the pieces of news that just came out, Neo.com, Neo's official website, has reported their new deliveries. We're talking about 10,878 vehicles in November. That's a 105.6% increase year over year. They delivered 80,940 vehicles year to date in 2021, a 120.4% increase year over year. And then all deliveries altogether, as of November 30th, 2021, was 156,000. They're absolutely crushing it. And my answer to you, to the people who are naysayers, is look at these charts. Look at these deliveries. Look at their annual deliveries altogether. I mean, they're still doing really well. There was a bit of a dip in October. We do have to note that because of the chip shortage and other things like that. But besides that, they've been just absolutely crushing it, guys. And this makes me very excited, guys. Their ES8, their ES6, and EC6 are just killing it. And I can't wait for the ET7. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, right over here, Yahoo Finance is reporting this too. They're talking about how awesome the pieces of news were, how they're absolutely crushing their numbers, and they did blow people away, especially with the amount of deliveries that they did for their electric SUV. That's once again a very good sign for Neo. They're crushing deliveries. That makes me excited. But I do want to note this right over here. The media is talking about the fact that Xpeng won the day, and Xpeng did have a really good deliveries data as well. But I do want to put note that you don't have to just compare Neo to other companies, because Neo is still in the growth phase. I have to note that Neo is still crushing it based off their own data. And you could see the data right over here was reported on their Twitter. They did talk about the fact that there's just insane growth every single year, and they're consistently growing again and again. And we should continue to see this again as they do increase their expansion. Now, European expansion is coming. There are big catalysts, and Neo days around the corner. So, what does this mean for Neo in terms of its share price? So, right now, Neo has been doing really, really well in terms of how much they've been able to hold. Neo's been holding higher prices time and time again compared to where they were like a month ago. And for me, and what I do think is going to play out is there are some nuances in this data. So Neo could be pushed down with the overall market because there is so much uncertainty right now. People are afraid, and when people like sell, they panic sell. That could cause things to drop like crazy. Now, what I think is going to play out is Neo does have support at 37.45, and we should bounce from there. But after, what I predict is going to happen is, leading up to December 18th, we're going to see another big run up, in my opinion. We should be back to the mid to high 40s. And then after that, if Neo has some huge announcements, if there's a big rally, this thing could go to the absolute moon. I think 2022 to 2023 are going to be absolutely fantastic for Neo. We could see this thing easily break past $80 to $100. And right now, look, the short term may not be too perfect, but the long term is very bright for this company, and that's what matters most. So do not give up on your dreams, guys. Give this company the time it needs, and this thing is going to the moon. With that said and done, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day, and Neo is going to the moon. Peace out.